people who are winning are people who are producing the most content. It's like a volume game right now because you want to be able to be seen the most. Our touch points have, I think, doubled. They used to be 8 to 12 touch points. I think it's like 17 to 22 touch points nowadays. So you definitely want to be there and be everywhere.
If you would tell us about your background and how you came to focus on UGC and the retail space.
Yeah, so I started off in the e-commerce space, running my own small brand. We were selling door closers at the time, and I used to only work with creators on an affiliate basis. And I'll never forget, I came across a UGC creator in late 2022, and they pitched me this UGC. I didn't know what it was. They were like pitching me this UGC thing. And I wasn't completely sold in it because I used to grow, communities all through TikTok, and I've grown communities to over 30 to 40,000 people, right? So I truly believe in like affiliate marketing on TikTok only. This creator ended up selling me a video for $50, and that $50 turned into 15 million views organically. And ever since then, I've been in the creator space. I saw a gap, and I was like, I finally got a good video. Why don't I just go sell this to other brands? And I slowly started off as a freelancer, then into an agency, and now we have a software platform.
For those newer to UGC, how would you define it, and how is it different from influencer marketing or traditional creative?
I would say the best way to describe UGC is creator-made content. If you want to go with the actual definition, it's typically just a user-generated content, whether it's video, whether it's written content. But if we go by what it's called in the industry today, it's when you are working with a creator and that content is being posted on your marketing channels. Influencer content is typically going on that influencer channels for their likeliness, but UGC is typically all about conversion, rarely about awareness unless it's posted organically.
Walmart is such a velocity-driven environment. Why has UGC proven to be such a strong lever for sell-through?
I truly believe it's because Walmart is all about moving units fast, right? And UGC plays a huge part in that. Like obviously having the creators go into the store, create content. So Walmart's all about moving fast. I feel like shoppers don't really have time for a cinematic story, at least from the brand side. They want to know, does this product work? Is the product worth it? And I truly believe that UGC gives the answer within the given time frame of the video, which is typically 15 to 60 seconds.
What makes creator content more effective than polished ads, especially in omni-channel retail?
I'd make the argument, and I think many can agree with this, that it feels real. I think the biggest problem with polished content is just people don't trust brands anymore. They just trust people. So I think UGC plays a big part in that. Polished ads pretty much screams like marketer, but like a creator video pretty much screams like a genuine individual who's just, spreading word of mouth, right? And, I hate to use this word, but authenticity, like it typically builds trust, obviously, and pushes someone from, consideration to purchase faster, right? So I'd make the argument that creator content plays a bigger role in the decision-making process.
We've seen stats showing UGC can deliver 2 to 5x sell-through. What do you think drives that kind of performance?
I'd make the argument it's social proof, right? People trust other people. Seeing someone you like use a product, obviously, creates instant confidence. And that's why we will continuously see that lift. So people, at the end of the day, people just trust other people. Just kind of what I was referring to before. Most people don't trust brands anymore, but they just trust people that, look like them or at least have the same experience to them, right? It's all about resonation at the end of the day.
One concept you talk about is mirroring the shelf experience. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I would say mirroring the shelf experience means replicating what happens when you pick up a product in the store. As a shopper and consumer, you turn it around, sometimes you'll read the label, you compare it to what's next to it. And I feel like in-store UGC recreates that feeling visually, right? So if I'm watching a video like on my phone, I could kind of feel that experience of what's happening throughout the video. So by the time like I hit the shelf or the shopper hits the shelf, the product already feels familiar.
How does in-store UGC help with things like recall, product discovery, and even foot traffic?
I think content filmed in the actual aisle creates memory cues. I think that's the best way to put it. Shoppers recognize packaging and know exactly where to find it. And that drives discovery and even gets people walking through the store looking for it. Typically when a consumer sees a video on TikTok, Instagram, or whatever platform they're looking at, they're going to recognize the area, right? That's the power of video. That's how effective video is, right? And they're going to go straight to that area. So I'd say that's, super important.
Do you see differences in effectiveness between content filmed in-store versus studio-style product videos?
Yes, I would say definitely. and don't get me wrong, studio videos are clean, right? They are obviously polished. They look great. But I feel like the way in-store wins is because it has context, right? We're actually learning a little bit more. It puts the product where it lives, which is I think is way more powerful for recall and shelf conversion in general. So I would say so.
Let's talk about alignment. How should suppliers think about content that works across paid media, PDPs, and organic social?
I think you want assets that are flexible. You want assets that can fit on TikTok, that can fit on PDPs, that can fit on Meta, that can fit on YouTube. You just want to have, Walmart Connect even, because that means leading with product, keeping it short, making sure it's authentic at the end of the day. So you want to make sure your content is flexible and can be repurposed on other channels because you want to get the most out of that content. And the best thing about UGC, especially with our platform, is you get the content in full usage, right? So once you get that content, you can do whatever you want with it. And that content can be repurposed wherever it is.
What do the best performing video assets tend to have in common?
It's a great question because that answer changes every year from what I'm seeing. But I would say right now, it's all about first frame. We used to always focus on the first 2 to 3 seconds, hooking that viewer in, but it's really about the frame now. Our attention spans have dropped. There's a study that came out, it was like 2 minutes and 47 seconds or 2 minutes and something. And it dropped to, I think, 47, 49 seconds, but I could be butchering this exactly. But I think those that know how to angle the first frame, know how to get that real feel off the rip can, be the most effective when it comes to video.
Are there certain formats or lengths that tend to work better on Walmart Connect or Marketplace PDPs?
Yes, I would say, short vertical videos, obviously, typically under 30 seconds. I think those are the best because people want to, especially if it's on a PDP, people want to know exactly what it is pretty quickly. And on PDPs, quick explainers and demos, from what I've seen, have done the best. So just being fast and punchy definitely wins.
Beyond the shopper, how does UGC help in conversations with buyers or during line reviews?
I think it signals you're serious about retail readiness. When you walk in with a library of creator content, you're showing you can drive sell-through, not just ship product, right? So if your content can perform on retail, we're seeing, I think, about 40 to 50% of our brands pushing retail content significantly more than they are on just the digital end. You should be able to win the game.
Have you seen examples of content helping unlock modular support or in-store promotions?
Yeah, so when brands prove they can drive movement with UGC, I believe it opens doors for better placement, features, and promo opportunities, because you want to create buzz. At the end of the day, it's all about creating buzz, and content, I would make the argument, is king to creating buzz. When I first got into the industry, our goal is like how, especially nowadays, that not even just when I first got, but nowadays, the people who are winning are people who are producing the most content. It's like a volume game right now because you want to be able to be seen the most. Our touch points have, I think, doubled. They used to be 8 to 12 touch points. I think it's like 17 to 22 touch points nowadays. So you definitely want to be there and be everywhere.
A lot of teams worry about time and capacity. What advice do you have for brands that need more content but have lean teams?
Keep briefs simple, right? You want to, especially when you're lean, you want to save time. I was talking to a brand the other day, and it took them 3 months to receive one asset. That should never be a problem. So simplify things, be straight to the point. Let the creator be creative, right? Because at that time, you're developing relationships with creators. And the better you are at developing relationships with creators, the better deals you can get from them, the more videos you can get from them, the more enthusiasm you can get from them, right? So you want to be able to keep stuff simple and straight to the point, especially for creators.
What are some practical ways to brief creators effectively and manage production without slowing down your go-to-market?
I would make the argument, it's clear, direct briefs, show examples, highlight the must-haves. Don't even have, I take that back, don't even have do's, just have don'ts, because you want to leave room for creativity. I truly believe over-scripting kills performance. We're seeing it now. I only believe scripting should be made when you're actually trying to replicate a winning piece of content. But if you want to test, you want to iterate, you want to be flexible, you want to give the creator freedom, and you want to make sure you're giving all the talking points, the hooks and experiences that they can relate to, the don'ts, video references, and content requirements. Like, hey, we need this type of version, we need that type of version. Like, you want to be very clear. And I have a brief example that I've been sharing with our brands that just make communication that much quicker.
How do smart teams get the most out of each piece of content?
I would just say repurposing. It's all about repurposing, making sure you can use that content everywhere. TikTok, Meta, YouTube, Facebook, PDPs, Amazon, wherever it is, you just want to be able to repurpose. Because at the end of the day, where you want content everywhere, you want to be showing up everywhere. So I think I was the repurposing.
What are the biggest mistakes you see brands making with UGC?
I would just say over scripting. I think most brands forget that the creator is a creator for a reason. It's literally in the name. So you don't want to overscript. You want to let them be them, and you can pretty much pick up from there.
What's one simple shift suppliers can make to start getting more out of their creator content?
Using our platforms, reaching out to creators, platforms like Vidovo, for example, which allows you to, create campaign briefs, search through the marketplace and be everywhere, allowing you to communicate with the creators beforehand. But you want to be able to get a jump, especially a couple months before, launches, holiday launches, prepping for the next quarter. You just want to be able to basically have a process and be prepared.
Where do you see UGC going in the next 12 to 24 months for Walmart suppliers?
I think it's actually even moving closer to shelf. So this should work in the favor of suppliers, right? Think in-store, point of sale, maybe even QR linked content. I think that's going to be huge, right? Where you could just scan a QR code and it'll just show you a bunch of videos, because I feel like retailers want to show shopper ready ads because consumers want to see, product in action, right? So that's one prediction I've been having. And I'm excited to see if that does actually come through.
What trends or shopper behavior should brands be preparing for now?
I think anything to do with speed. Like I said before, our attention spans are so slow, and you want to be straight to the point and as simple as possible for that consumer. Like it's a third grade or fifth grade reading level, or you want them to take away as much as they can from that initial video that they're watching. So speed, being able to have a process that makes things simple for the consumer, and not just being straight to the point.
Tell us a little bit more about Vidovo and why supplier teams should reach out to you for help.
Correct. So Vidovo is a UGC and influencer platform where we connect brands, agencies, and consultants with creators. Majority of our brands are having our creators actually go into the store and film content, whether that's Walmart, Target, CVS. So it's not just Walmart; it's every type of retailer that you can imagine. And brands are seeing major success by having the creators actually go into the store, because people love watching journeys. Customers love watching other customers' journeys that they can actually relate to. So we have our self-service option where brands are using that. We also have our managed agency service, which we're handling everything internally. And it's pretty much a pretty cool white glove service. So it's exciting.
And what's the very best way for someone to engage with you and your team?
The best way to reach out to me is at elijah@vidovo.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn. I'm fairly active on there. And those are probably the best two ways.